Hey guys, it's Raquel. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be another doll tag video. I mentioned yesterday during my Wine Dollies that I was thinking of possibly doing a BJD tag video today, and I think I've kind of got the question wrapped up. I'm not sure if I've seen this question around before or if I made it up, but I'm just gonna say it as I thought it and just roll with it. And if you guys want to pick it up, you can. So, the doll tag in question today is: do your dolls relieve your stress? And I have to say, it's both yes and no for me, but erring on the side of yes more than no. And you're gonna be like, Raquel, that's a little bit of a complicated way to think about it. What you thinking? Well, here's what I'm thinking. They bring me de-stressing in various different ways. So by creating the clothing for them, by looking at them when I'm feeling down or feeling just overwhelmed and stuff like that, they can bring a sense of joy and a sense of calm, because like I can kind of just start thinking about my characters and my stories and just kind of not focus on the world around me or what's going on. And they do de-stress me to a degree. Now, is it like a really amazing fix for me? No. But they do a job when I am feeling a little bit overwhelmed, because I could just look at them and just kind of, as I said, go into a different direction, go outside of everyday reality and just think about the character I created, the story I created. Oh, how can I in like expand it and that type of thing. In regards to why they do stress me out sometimes, is obviously they are very expensive dolls. So the cost of them stresses me out. The amount of dolls that I have in boxes that I have yet to open stresses me out. Not knowing if the dolls in there are okay or not, and that kind of stresses me out. But at this point, I've kind of accepted that whole fiasco. Um, but yeah, in terms of like that type of stuff, like financial money, that type of things, yes, the dolls kind of stress me out. But for the most part, every doll in here no longer really does, because they're either old enough that I've had them around enough that I've forgotten how much they cost me, or they've been in my presence long enough to have like been worth their um amount. If I no longer feel that stress and anxiety over the dolls. Um, and then obviously the ones in the boxes, yeah, they're there, but it's been 3 years, so whatever value they had is no longer really present in my mind. It's a doll that I own, and I just gotta open them and do with them what I want, kind of thing, right? So, and what I mean by like they're no longer worth their value, it's a really, I can't figure out a way to properly explain it, but essentially it's kind of like this old saying with video games: every hour is worth $5 or $10 in a video game. If a video game is worth, it costs $60, you better get at least 6 to 12 hours worth of gameplay from that video game for it to be worth the money that you paid for it, right? I say the same thing for dolls. I say the same thing for pretty much any video game or purchase I make. Is if I'm going to be spending an X amount of money on something, it better be worth what I'm spending it on. So obviously for food, I look for like lower cost foods. That's so I get my money's worth out of the food that I'm eating. And for any material goods, whether it be fabric to make things, whether it be dolls to purchase, whether again it be video games, it needs to be worth the amount of money I pay. I have to get my money's worth out of the game if I pay for it, or out of the doll or whatever. So, for example, all these dolls here are, you know, 5 plus years old, if not older. Some of them, because I know some of them were owned by my friends, and some of them were like literally made back in the day. So I've purchased them, and as soon as I purchase them and they're in my hands and they're mine to do with, their value goes down every single day. And for me, it's probably by the month it goes down, you know, 5, 10, $15, maybe even $25, depending on the doll, depending on how much joy I'm getting out of the doll in the moment and what's going on. And eventually, over 2 to 3 years, I'm saying is that the doll's value to me goes down to zero, because you know, I've dressed up the doll, I've admired the doll, I've taken photos of the doll, I've played with the doll enough that it no longer scares me the amount of money I paid for it, because I've got my worth out of it. So that's something really interesting. If you guys want to think about that and tell me if you've gotten your worth out of your dolls. But ultimately, this whole conversation was about, like, does your dolls relieve your stress? And I definitely say yes. At this point, 100%. The factor of doll money and how much money I've spent on these dolls no longer stresses me out. It's now just, de-stressing when I see them, when I make clothing for them, when I dress them up and create stories with them, or photographs or whatever like that, de-stresses me. And I know I haven't really been able to do much with them since I restarted the channel, but I'm looking into the future, and I know I'm going to do more things in the future. I just got to get there. So that's the doll tag. Please tag me in your videos if you do a doll tag of the same one, which again is do your dolls relieve your stress? And please, link it to me, comment below, do your dolls relieve your stress? Because I know for a fact mine do. So I hope you enjoyed today's video, and as always, my friends and family, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, everybody!